Hello everybody, and welcome to my very first YouTube video. Woo! Da 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 da! Oh, I can't even begin to tell you how long it's been since I've wanted to start a YouTube channel. I have been a fan of YouTube ever since I was a little kid. I used to go on here and search all sorts of things, and then I used to see comedy channels and I'd wanna, get crazy, and I made a few silly videos and eating crackers and stuff, but I kind of progressed in life, kind of got to know how to do makeup, got involved with Lolita fashion, of course, like what I am wearing today, even though, of course, today's outfit's a little bit more toned down. The quintessential first video of any beauty YouTuber tends to, more often than not, be a natural, everyday look. So I thought I would do that, but within my niche, which is, of course, Lolita fashion, and also other super kawaii and cute Asian fashions. So without further ado, let's get to the tutorial! The first step of makeup application comes before any of the really fun products, and that means skincare. Before applying any makeup, you have to make sure to wash your face and moisturize thoroughly. Maybe I should do a Korean skincare video in the future because I am so obsessed with all that. But for now, just make sure you're washed and moisturized. Next, we can go on to primer. Now, there's a lot of primers on the market, but today I'm going to be going in with the Bareminerals primer. Now, even though I do love me some of that Marc Jacobs foundation, for everyday wear, I like to opt for the Bareminerals formula. And so I'm going to use the primer that goes with that today. And here it is. I like to make sure to get just about that much. It's not a full pump on my hand, but it's enough to get the job done. You don't want too much primer. Make sure to blend this product in really, really well, because if you don't, it's going to be counterintuitive and it's going to make your makeup slip and slide instead of stick exactly where it should be. Primer should only slip and slide to an extent when you're applying the actual product. It should go on smoother than without a primer. But once that product's down, it needs to stay, because if not, you're going to be a runny, yucky, ooky, gooky mess. Woo! Oh, I just love the feeling of freshly primed skin. To get ready to apply makeup, I always like to pin my hair back somewhat because I do have a hime cut, which, if you're not familiar, means straight across bangs and side locks that frame the face. And that can kind of get in the way of makeup. There's a lot of different ways that you can pin your hair back, but I like these clips because they don't leave an unintentional curl in my hair. Before I apply concealer, I always like to go in with a color corrector just to get rid of all the bluish green tones under my eyes. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color Peach Corrector. How fitting! I can't even begin to tell you how exciting it is to be sitting down in this chair and making these videos now. I've been planning this for a really long time. And during all of the corona craziness, I basically decided that I needed to use all that free time I had to prepare to start this channel. And so I invested a bunch of money into equipment, and I really tried to study content and SEO and things, and I'm really hoping to make this a big project because it's just, it's YouTube, come on. Oh, yes. How does it look? Is the blueness canceled out? Let's go on to concealer. For concealer today, I'm going to be going in with the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Light Sand. When I apply concealer, I actually prefer to do one eye at a time. And because this is an everyday look, I'm not going to apply too much. It's just enough to kind of cover the under eye area, especially with this kind of concealer or others that are of a similar full coverage nature. You want to make sure that you're not applying too much too soon, or else it's going to get cakey and it'll be really hard to blend out, especially if you're not going to be using a super full coverage foundation underneath or over top. Since this is the first video, maybe I should give you a little bit of background on myself. I've just been involved in makeup for a really long time. I was involved in theater a lot when I was a little kid. I was also really involved in cosplay up until about 3 years ago, when I basically decided it was a little bit too expensive and it was hard for me to monetize it. I didn't know a lot of people, so I just kind of abandoned it. and I really started to focus on Lolita fashion. Now this looks a little crazy right now, especially because my cheeks are so big, so when I have a lighter color, it's just like, ah! But we're going to be applying foundation over it, and this is just going to highlight and bring everything together in the end, so don't freak out. For foundation today, we're going to be using the Bareminerals Original Formula. This color is Light 08, and this color is Golden Fair 04. I find that my foundation is the perfect color when I mix both of these products. I'll also be using the original Bareminerals brush to apply the foundation. So what I usually do is get a small amount into the cap. Sometimes when you open it, it'll just be there already, and I tap a little bit out. And then I take the other one. If you're just using one color, you don't have to do all this, but just make sure there's a very small amount of product in the cap. You don't want too much with this particular foundation because it just tends to get really cakey if you don't apply it in thin layers. So I swirl it in here, swirl it in here, and then I have the perfect color. What you're going to want to do now is to just very softly buff the product into the skin and make sure that you blend, blend, blend. If you don't go over this product enough and really work it into the skin, it tends to appear very cakey. In general, when you're working with powder foundations, if you don't blend them into the skin very thoroughly, they're just going to sit on top of it and they won't melt into the skin. The primer that we applied earlier is going to act as a base that helps turn this product into a liquid, and continue to layer until you reach the desired results. I personally like 2 layers of product, but you could do a little more or less depending on your preference. I'm actually a licensed makeup artist. I got licensed when I was 16 years old because I was super obsessed with cosplay, and I wanted to run a cosplay makeup booth at a local anime convention, and you had to have some sort of a sanitation license in order to do this. Let's go in with a second layer. Even though I don't really cosplay anymore, my whole interest in costuming and extravagant clothing is what sort of led me into being interested in Lolita fashion. Although I didn't start it when I stopped cosplaying, it was something I was kind of doing alongside cosplay. After I quit cosplaying, I really was able to invest a lot of money into my closet, into makeup, into all sorts of things. And here I am today. I'll delve more into my background and history in another video, but for now, I think the foundation is done! Now let's do a little highlight and contouring. Whenever you're doing a cute or kawaii makeup style, it's important to make sure that you don't go overboard with contouring. Like, we don't want to be too snatched, we just want to be like dolly snatched, if that makes any sense. Ooh. As a finishing touch, we're going to set our under eyes with a powder. Today I'm using the Coty Airspun Loose Face Setting Powder. Taking a paw for a beauty blender, just dip it in and apply generously under the eyes. I always like to make sure my under eyes are really baked, because if they're not, they're just gonna crease like no other. Oh. Now that that's done, we can move on to contouring. Oh yes! Whenever you're wearing a cute or kawaii fashion, it's important not to go overboard with contouring because it tends to give the face a very chiseled, supermodel, grungy effect. Especially if you take it really, really far, like the whole Kim K thing. Today, I'm going to simply be using a powder contour in a very natural color. This right here is Anastasia's Fawn. I know it actually comes in a whole palette, but I just wanted this color from the palette, so I bought it separately. Taking an angled brush of your choice, this one's from Coastal Scents, simply dip into the product and apply it to the cheekbone. Start with the brush very close to the hairline and brush it down very gently. And be sure I'm not going past this line right here on my face. If you can see the end of my eye, and if you drew a line down, I'm not going past that point, because if I do go past that point, it's going to make me look really chiseled. And that's exactly the opposite of what we want to do. For Lolita makeup, you simply want to shape the face, but not make the cheeks look like they're sucked in. And just continue to build the product as you see fit. Even though, of course, I'll probably have a lot of content that focuses on doing makeup on myself, I want to also incorporate some content that involves me doing makeup on tons of other people. Because one unfortunate thing that I noticed about Hawaii fashion content as a whole on YouTube is that if you search for makeup tutorials, they're just not very diverse. And that can make it difficult for someone to try to figure out how to do their makeup, especially with such an extravagant clothing style. I think it would be beneficial for the community if there were some tutorials that showed you how to do Lolita makeup on all sorts of people. Now, even though that's subtle, you see how it's made a difference? It's like, ooh! I'm gonna also contour my jawline here so that I achieve a more V-line dolly type of chin. I just love doing makeup on a multitude of people too. It's so much fun to do other people's makeup because you get very used to doing your own makeup and seeing your own features. And when you can apply product and apply makeup to a new canvas, it's just so satisfying. And oh, I love to do it. I haven't done it in a while. I'd love to get some guests on here. Ooh, that would be fun. Once that's complete, we're going to contour our nose. Now, nose contouring, in my opinion, is one of the most difficult things in makeup. So I don't know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day, but pray for me to the makeup gods. Ooh. I like to start at the tip and just being very slow and precise with the color, creating a sort of outline, and then I drag it up to my eyebrow like that. And then I just do the same thing on the other side and hope it looks good. The problem with nose contours is that they just take a long time. And that's the thing, even though this is an everyday look, but I'm pretty extra, so for me, every day involves nose contouring, so sorry, I know you probably hate me, but I mean, this is what happens when you're obsessed with makeup. You just apply one product and then want to do another and another and another, and then you're like, oh, look, I've got a full face of makeup on, and I was just trying to put on blush because I was going out to get my mail, but oops. Now I'm just kind of drawing under my nose as well because this is going to help to sort of shorten it. And I'm just trying to blend out these edges here as well. As a final step, you can do a line right here, and that's going to create this illusion of a little button nose. Now I'm going to take a blending brush and blend all of the harsh lines out. To highlight the bridge of the nose again, since it's kind of gotten a little muddy from the blending, I'm going to use this Bareminerals concealer in the color Well Rested with the Morphe M562 brush. I'm going to also go over this with the Kabuki brush we used for our foundation earlier. The most important thing about nose contouring is, again, making sure it's blended. Honestly, that's really why you hear people saying blend, 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 because every aspect of makeup involves a lot of blending, or else it just does not look good. You gotta put the work in, girl. Work, 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 work. There, now I think that looks pretty good. Now that our nose contour is complete, we can be finished with the face makeup. What do you think so far? Let's go on to the eyes. Before we do our eye makeup, I'm gonna apply my brows off camera. Next, we're gonna apply eye primer. I've already done this eye right here, so we're gonna go in with the other eye with this P. Louise eye base in the color Rumor 1. I have tried so many eye primers, and I can definitely say that this is the best I've ever tried. A lot of eye primers just aren't very good. They're sort of a gimmicky product, I'd say, because they don't do what they say, and it's kind of hard for a product to keep eyeshadow down, especially if you have hooded lids like me. But this one definitely does the trick. Now that our eyes are primed, we can go in with eyeshadow. To start off today's look, I'm going to be using the Naked 3 palette from Urban Decay. Next, we're going to go in with this color, Limit, all over the lid. And I'm just using a generic flat brush today. Don't forget to apply this color under the eye as well. But be careful, because if you apply too much, it's sleepy and scary. Next, I'm going to go in with the Morphe M513 to blend out all the harsh edges. Since we've layered this product with a flat brush, it's going to have some harsh lines, so just go over it again with this fluffy brush in order to diffuse everything and make it look really smooth. Eye makeup's probably one of my favorite parts of doing my makeup because I love how it's different every time. I enjoy doing my foundation, Like, it's just satisfying and fun to blend without being constrained. But I love that eye makeup is different every time you do it, and it all depends on what you're wearing and what your mood is. And you can do a look that's super natural, or you can do a look that's crazy, and a lot of that depends on the eye makeup. I like how it's looking so far. It's subtle, but it still has that summer sense to it. And it'll have even more so when we add a little bit of peach, because I think we need a little peachiness in it to give it a little bit more cuteness. I absolutely love Juvia's Place palettes. They're so good. Some of the best eyeshadow on the market. And I'm going to go in with this color right here and apply that right here to my eye. I want this look to have a mature feel to it, but also be very sweet and summery. I definitely have content planned for you guys, but if you could comment and tell me what kind of videos you want to see, that'll really help me out, because YouTube's all about making content for your viewers. I don't want to put up a video that you guys don't like, so make sure you comment below and tell me what kind of video you'd like to see next. Now going back to the Urban Decay palette, we're going to dip into the color Buzz and apply that right here. And now what I'm doing is just applying this to this part of my eye, this third, but it's not straight up and down, it's at a diagonal. Apply this over the peach to slightly cool it down a bit to bring everything together. To add even more depth, we're going to dip into the color Mugshot. When you're doing Lolita makeup, there can be a fine line between going too dark and too light, especially depending on the genre. Because this dress is from Innocent World and it's very obviously classic, we can give this look a slightly deeper, more antique doll sort of feel, as opposed to like Barbie or something else like. We're still keeping the colors within the pink family, like a lot of Lolita makeup is, but these colors are a little more muted and really scream a neo-Victorian sort of vibe. Even though this is definitely a more natural Lolita makeup tutorial, we're still gonna go in with a little bit of glitter because I think that pushes the whole dolly aesthetic. This is the Inglot Pure Pigment Eyeshadow in the shade 111. It's a really pretty lavendery, sparkly color that would be perfect for this look. Before applying eyeshadows like this, I always spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray. That way the color will stick and really show up on the eyes. And I'm going to apply this mainly to the center of the lids. The reason I really like this product in particular is because it's sort of a cross between an eyeshadow and a glitter. It's pigmented, but it still has this chunkiness to it that doesn't really make it a full eyeshadow. And I'm going to apply a little bit up here on my brow bone just because my eyes are very hooded. You see, if I'm like this, you can't really see a lot of my lid, and I want to be able to make sure that my eyeshadow is going to show even when my eyes are open. I think the word that would best describe how I'm feeling right now about starting YouTube and getting this whole channel rolling and planning content is just grateful. I just feel so grateful that I have the opportunity to do this because it's really a wonderful thing. I feel like it's just really hard to make it in entertainment if you don't live in California or New York. The great thing about YouTube is it allows those of us who don't to really be able to start out in the industry and to get our feet wet and to have a lot of control over our content. I think it's really important to me as an artist, especially a new YouTuber, to have control over what I put out. I don't want to be contracted to someone yet. I don't really know about how business works. And by having a YouTube channel, you can kind of learn at your own pace. That added the exact amount of drama I was going for. Oh, it's so exciting. I get so excited when I finish my eye makeup. It's just like, oh, yes, yes, girl. Oh, go. To give your eyes a little more definition and a downward turned flare, apply brown eyeliner. This is the Mersey First Pen Eyeliner in the color Brownie. When doing your eyeliner, it's important to take your time. I like to use a very thin line because, as I said before, my eyes have very small eyelids. Then when you get to this point, drag it down. Now, I know this is the opposite of what most beauty gurus will tell you to do, but in the case of Lolita makeup, the whole point of the look is to make your eyes look downturned as opposed to upturned. That being said, certain eye shapes may not look super flattered in this look, so use your own discretion when doing your makeup. My eyes are already downward turned, so I just sort of trace my natural shape and then emphasize it with the little tail. I think we're in business. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm just looking in the viewfinder and very pleased. Another trick I like to do is to line my upper waterline. I find that when I don't, I tend to see where I haven't placed any product and there's gapping between my eyelashes, so I always like to go in and do that, but that's optional. Sorry I'm at this weird angle. It's just really hard to do this on camera. Whew, okay. Huh. Oh yes, oh I love how that looks. 9 times out of 10, when I'm doing Lolita makeup, I use brown eyeliner because I find black can sometimes be a little bit too harsh. Now that we're almost done with our eyes, I'm going to sweep that extra powder off under my eyes, and this is also going to clear away any fallout from our shadow previously. Now that that's done, we're ready to curl our lashes and apply mascara. For mascara today, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It's my favorite mascara of all time. The reason I like this formula is because it doesn't crack or chip. Sometimes mascaras will sort of flake off, and it also doesn't run. I don't mind if the mascara isn't super chunky or layering because I can just wear false eyelashes for that. I just want my mascara to darken my lashes and give them a sense of separation, and this mascara does just that. Now as a finishing touch, let's apply eyeliner to the inner corners of the eye. This is the Bibia Last Auto Gel Eyeliner in the color Wedding Peach. You could simply apply an eyeshadow to the inner corner of the eye to highlight it, but I find that it doesn't show up as well unless I do this first. I'm going to use the color Moon Dust from the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette to highlight the inner corner of my eye, because yellow is the complementary color to purple. And to do that, I'm going to use the Bdellium 716 brush. Oh yes, there's that highlight coming through. Oh, I love doing my inner corner highlight, you guys. It just, adds such pizzazz to the makeup. And then I always like to apply a little bit of that shimmer to the tip of my nose. Even though our eye makeup is done, we don't want to forget about the rest of the face. Taking the Etude House Lovely Cookie Blusher in the shade Pink Brownie, oh super cute, I'm going to apply this right under my eyes. And I'm going to do this with a Morphe M437 brush. Oh, this color looks good. It's a little bit pinker than the eye makeup, so it gives a nice contrast, but it's still melding quite well with the rest of the makeup. Don't be afraid to be super generous with blush in Lolita makeup, because that's kind of one of the main points, is that you have a blush that's super poppin', because that's how all little dollies look. And princesses too, I mean, come on. Now as you can see, it's hard for me to kind of get right up into my eye, so I'm going to use a Morphe M501 brush in the same color and just apply it even closer to the eye, just so that we can make sure there's no gaps and the makeup looks complete. And the blush looks intentionally placed. Now I'm going to go back in and blend a little more. For our lips today, we're going to keep it neutral and simple. First, I'm going to go in with NYX's Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color Stockholm, and over top of that, we'll layer the NYX Butter Gloss in Tiramisu. I love NYX as a company. Even though they're cheaper and they're from the drugstore, they have a great product. I have been in love with the soft matte lip creams for years. They're so affordable, they glide really nicely onto the lips, and they just look great. If you're looking for a really good lip color on a budget, it's not super pigmented like a liquid lipstick, but still adds color and life to the face, they're a great choice. Now we have to wait for this to set and dry before applying the gloss. I'll be honest, when I'm doing my makeup by myself, sometimes I'll just go in with the gloss right away, but I'm gonna do it good for you guys. Now that it's done drying, let's apply the gloss. I love lip gloss so much. It was so funny. I am so glad that it is back in style because when that matte liquid lipstick phase was big, I was just like, no, honey, no. It's not my thing. Unless it's a gradient. If it's a gradient, then I can kind of live with it. Or a red, but not like that dry, like matte. I don't like that. So sorry, you'll never see stuff like that on this channel unless, maybe there was some kind of a challenge. That might be interesting. Full face of makeup trends I hate! Oh my gosh, that would be really hilarious. I have some very strong opinions about how I like to do my makeup, but honestly, I don't really care how you want to do your makeup. Like, the reason I don't like the matte lip thing is because I just think it looks bad on me. I don't think it looks bad on, like, necessarily all people. It's just, you know, I'm a crusty mess. Crusty. And to complete this look, we're going to use a setting spray. This is the Morphe one. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't breathe in those fumes. Oh no. Oh. No, I don't need any makeup smelling salt, if you know what I mean. Come on and dry. Am I gonna fly? And now that our setting spray has dried, it looks like this classical, everyday appropriate Lolita makeup tutorial is complete! Thank you so much for watching the video, you guys. Tell me what you think. Are you into it? Are you not? What kind of a tutorial do you want to see next? Please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button below. It really helps me as a new YouTuber. I need a lot more subscribers, so help me out and be a good pal. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. We upload 3 times weekly. See ya! Bye-bye!